A long time ago, there was a box called the Ark of the Covenant. It was a holy box that contained items that reminded people of God's faithfulness to them. God's power surrounded this box. Moving it from one place to another required extreme care. King David decided to move the Ark to Jerusalem so that he could keep it safe. He gathered 30,000 of Israel's best men to move it. They loaded the Ark on a cart and pushed it all the way to Jerusalem. While they moved the Ark, David and the men celebrated with all their might. As they traveled, they made a joyful noise to the Lord with all kinds of noisemakers. As they brought the Ark into the city of David, the streets were filled with shouts and the sound of trumpets. King David was so excited about the Ark's arrival in his city that he was dancing in the streets in his underwear. His wife Michal saw this from a window and was unhappy with David's leaping and dancing before the Lord. David put the Ark of the Covenant in the place he had designated for it and went home. When he got there, Michal was waiting for him. She was disappointed and angry. She told David that the king of Israel should know better than to dance around in the streets in his underwear. But David was not embarrassed. He told her that he was dancing for the Lord. He said it didn't matter what he was wearing. He would celebrate and be happy before the Lord. He didn't care what anybody said or what other people thought. King David was so happy that he couldn't contain it. He had to dance and celebrate all the Lord had done for him and his people.
Hey there, chicken nuggets. It's me, Carl.
And I'm Andy.
Welcome to Grow TV.
Welcome to Grow TV. Hosted by Carl. Where we have fun with our friends, talk about Jesus, and go over everything the Bible has to offer. Now once again, welcome to Grow TV.
So, Carl.
Yes, Andy?
What are you doing?
Nothing. I'm doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah, I can see that. What's with the box?
Box? Oh, no, what box? No, this box. It's not, it's just a normal box, Andy.
So can I hold it?
No! Okay, I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to be really careful because this box is different than any other box. It's unusual to find something so rare.
All right, no problem. So what's so unusual about it?
Well, I care about this box, and I found something that I never thought I would.
Well, you're not talking about the crazy egg, are you?
Yeah, I got the crazy egg. Everybody knows that a box of eggs comes with 12 eggs in it, but every once in a while, you'll find one that has an extra egg. A 13th egg. A crazy egg. Crazy egg.
Wow, Carl, that's amazing. You must be so happy.
Yeah, so happy. I'm so happy.
Carl, you seem kind of stressed.
What? Me stressed? No, why would you say that?
Well, you're doing your stressed out voice where your voice gets all high and loud.
What are you talking about? I don't have a stressed out voice. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm a little stressed, but I've always wanted a crazy egg and now I have it, but
But what?
now I'm afraid of losing it or something bad happening to it.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. So what do you say we jump into today's story?
I suppose. What are we talking about?
Well, believe it or not, we're talking about King David again, but this time it involves a special type of box.
A box like this?
Not exactly. This particular box was made of wood and it was beautifully designed. They actually called it the Ark of the Covenant, and it was created to hold really important things in the Old Testament.
What kind of things?
Things that would remind the people of what God had done, like the tablets that the Ten Commandments were written on, or a jar of manna.
Is that the special food that God rained down from the sky for the Israelites to eat? From when they were walking in the wilderness and stuff?
That's the one. And also the rod that Moses' brother Aaron used that budded leaves, even though it was a dead piece of wood.
Wow, that stuff really is important. So what does that have to do with King David?
Well, having the Ark of the Covenant in your town was something everyone wanted, especially David.
Why did everyone want it?
Well, what made the Ark of the Covenant really special is that it was a symbol of God's presence.
Wait, God was in the box?
Sort of. It was a place where people could come and meet with God. That's why having it with you was such a big deal.
I can imagine. Well, who had the ark?
Well, David and his men came and got the ark from a place called Bela, and they brought it back to Israel.
Nice. I bet they were nervous like me, huh? Holding on to the ark, protecting it, trying to make sure nothing bad happened to it.
Not really.
I mean, the Ark of the Covenant is so important. You gotta take care of it.
Yes, it is serious, but bringing home the Ark of the Covenant was a very happy thing for David and the people of Israel.
Really?
Of course, this box had so much history and meant so much to the people of Israel. I mean, it was one way of really knowing that God was with them.
Wow, that was really cool.
You bet it is. David was so happy that he began to dance and everyone started playing instruments.
Wait a minute. David was dancing, right?
Yeah?
But it said he was dancing in his underwear.
What, you've never done that?
Not in front of a bunch of people like that, Andy.
Fair enough. But at that moment, David didn't care what he was wearing or who was watching. He was just so happy and filled with joy.
Joy?
Of course, David finally brought back the Ark of the Covenant to God's people. That meant so much to David, and he could not contain it.
I know how that goes. Sometimes I feel like I'm just gonna burst if I don't get all my feelings out. But I don't think everyone gets me.
You know what? David experienced that too. Some people thought that the highest ruler in all of the land should not be behaving in such an unusual way. But David let them know that his joy came from the Lord and he couldn't hide it.
Well, good for David. Why should he? Well, after listening to this story, I think it's obvious that God gives unexplainable joy.
Carl, you know what gives me joy?
Silly cat videos on YouTube?
No, you said our big idea. Today's big idea is God gives unexplainable joy.
So let's say it out loud on the count of three.
One, two, three.
God gives unexplainable joy! Yeah! Oh yeah! Wow. I'm glad we got to talk, Andy. I'm now truly starting to enjoy this crazy egg.
I'm glad too, Carl. You deserve it.
Thanks, Andy. I'm really...
Oh. Carl, I'm so sorry. Oh, Carl, don't cry. God gives unexplainable. Okay, that's
Ow.
that's all for today. That's all for today, kids. Sorry.
You're not dead.
Oh, Carl, look, it's an omelet with legs.
Oh, neat.
Carl. See you next week.
Thank you for watching, and tune in next week for a new episode of Row TV.
Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Isaiah 55:8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord.